Hare Krishna, Sukirti Madhvi presenting you the sixth verse from the series of 108 important verses, and today's verse is the verse number 14 from chapter 2. So let's quickly see the verse. Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोषण सुख दुख daha agma paino nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. The beautiful verse where it begins with Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya. So now this word Matra. So Matra refers to the sense object, a material thing, any material sense object, that is Matra. Sparshas means coming in contact. Sparsh karna, coming in contact. And tu Kaunteya. So Krishna is referring Arjuna as Kaunteya, or the son of Kunti Devi. So Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya. So he is talking about that as soon as our senses come in contact with the sense object, just like my eyes, the moment it comes in contact with some designer jewelry, or my ear hears some motivational speech on YouTube, and I start feeling, I want to do something in my life. I have to acquire that growth mindset. So what has happened is that voice, when it touched my ear, so Matra Sparshastu Kaunteya, or somebody is talking some insulting words about me. So till the time I am not hearing, my ears are not in contact with that material sound, there is no problem. But the moment they get in contact with each other, so then what happens? Krishna says, Shito Shana Sukha Dukha Daha. So Sheet and Ushna. Sheet and Ushna means heat and cold. Then Sukh Dukh refers to happiness and distress. So this, our senses coming in contact with the material object, when we get in contact with the material object, from there arises happiness and distress. And this happiness and distress, it is just like Sheet and Ushna, or heat and cold, or good and bad, right and wrong, respect and insult, man apman. So actually this talks about, or this refers to the dualities of material nature. So this material nature around us, everything exists in duality. Everything has a good side and a bad side. Everything, sometimes things are good for us, sometimes it is inappropriate for us. So the dualities. And then further Krishna says, Agma paino nityas. Agma paino means appearing and disappearing. So it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Like heat and cold, like summers and winters. It comes and it goes. Anityas. Why? Because it is anityas. Anityas means it is temporary. So everything which comes as a result of this material world, coming in contact with this material world, so all those things, it leads to the dualities, and this is temporary. There is a beginning of such thing, and then there is an end. So what can I do? So Krishna tells for such thing, Tam stitikshasva bharata. Therefore, tam stitikshasva, which means it is temporary. Everything around us is temporary. Don't get agitated. Just tolerate it. So this is the instruction Krishna is giving, and Krishna is again addressing here Arjuna as Bharata, or the one who comes in the dynasty of King Bharat Maharaj. So the translation goes, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O sign of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So Krishna is talking about certain very important aspects here. One, he is giving a direct instruction to Arjun that he must learn to tolerate. Now what he has to tolerate and how he has to tolerate. So he needs to tolerate without getting agitated or disturbed, and he must perform his duties. So do his, or do due duty, whatever is there for him. And then he says why? Because it is all non-permanent. So non-permanent means temporary, because everything is temporary. These emotions, these feelings, these man and apman, these heat and cold, everything is temporary. In fact, Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he gives two beautiful examples. So he says that how a person performs his duty So like Magh month, the January month, it is considered to be very, very cold. But a saintly person gets up early in the morning and takes a cold water shower. He does not complain about the climate. Or the second example Prabhupada gives is that even in the extreme winters like May and June, and yet the ladies of the house, they go to the kitchen and they cook. So cooking in summer or taking bath in winter, people do not get so perturbed or disturbed because of this external climatic condition that they give up their duties. So similarly, like the heat and cold or the summer and winter, it comes and it goes. It automatically keeps changing. And all this heat and cold, it is arising. Why? Because of the sense perception. So Krishna is telling, tolerate that sense perception and discharge your duties. Do not get disturbed, O Arjun. Krishna is also pointing out Arjuna's legacy here. He is calling him by two words. One, he says Kaunteya, because he is talking about his lineage from the mother's side. And second, he is addressing him as Bharata, or the father's lineage. So actually both the sides, there are great devotees, they are wonderful devotees. So Krishna is reminding Arjun that you carry such important lineage, and hence a greater heritage brings greater responsibility. So that is true for each one of us also, that we all also carry that heritage and we must become responsible for that. Then Krishna is talking about the temporariness of this world around us in this particular verse. How everything is short-lived, how everything is temporary, and that he signifies by using the word agma paino anityas, that it keeps appearing and disappearing and it is all short-lived. So actually if we turn around and see, everything is temporary, because everything has a beginning, it stays for some time and then it ends. It is true with the objects, it is true for the people in our lives, and it is also true for all our emotions. So that is how material world is temporary. Everything what we feel through our senses is also temporary. So sometimes we may feel very honored, sometimes we may feel insulted, sometimes people praise us, sometimes people criticize us, but the ultimate reality is all of those emotions which arises from them is actually temporary. So what we have to do, because it is all temporary, one must learn to tolerate. Now, does tolerate indicate any type of weakness or inactivity or like not doing anything? Or does tolerate means that I'll allow myself to be exploited by others? So actually we can consider one example. See, just like if a doctor is there who's, let's say, performing a brain surgery, a complicated brain surgery, which spans for many hours. So the doctor may be exhausted, the doctor may be hungry, the doctor may be perspiring despite of the air conditioner. Yet he tolerates his hunger, his fatigue and the climate, and he focuses on the patient. He is not interested in any news update as if what is happening in cricket or politics, etc. He is not letting his patient exploit him. He is so focused in saving that life of that patient. So he is tolerating the other things because he has a bigger thing in front of him. So similarly, each one of us, we need to stay focused on our spiritual life, and we do not get distracted by matra sparsha or by the sense objects. So we should not allow. So what does tolerance means here when Krishna says tolerate? So tolerance means first, staying focused, no distraction, just like that doctor, or just like when we are driving the car and we are going somewhere important, and if somebody is honking, we don't like stop the car and start fighting with that person, because that person is a distraction for me. So similarly, sometimes when we receive some honor, we receive some award, we receive some promotion, it may be a distraction from our spiritual life. Sometimes we may receive some harsh words, and if I start focusing on that, like how my mother-in-law is, let's say, finding faults with me, now I may get distracted completely. That is not my goal. So I need to stay focused without distraction. So I tolerate all these things because I need to be focused. Second is not doing the first thing that comes into our mind, because that is the nature of our mind, that there is an action and immediately I respond, I react to that action. So what does tolerate means here is that I do not allow me to do the first thing instantly. Because if we tolerate our first reaction, then our intelligence will soon give us clearer perspective of things and we can take a better decision. Then the third thing is keep our inner balance amidst provoking situation. So pleasures may distract us or pain may dishearten us, but we don't have to get distracted for too long because we need to be focused. So I know that whatever emotions and feelings I am experiencing, it is a result of what? Matra Sparshas, the Kaunteya, Krishna has told. So it is a result of that, and Krishna is telling, do not get provoked in such situation, tolerate such situation. Why am I tolerating such situation? Because I have bigger thing in my life. So tolerance empowers me to keep small things small so that I can focus on bigger things. And what are these bigger things? These bigger things are those things which take me towards the Supreme Lord, which helps me in growing spiritually. So I tolerate other tiny little inconveniences which comes to me in different forms, in different varieties. But I understand that all these are distractions. So I must not focus on these small things because my goal is big. Just like that doctor, I have a goal to save my spirit soul. So I focus completely on that and I tolerate all the other inconveniences. When I have more important things to do, I do not complain about petty matters. I naturally tolerate the urge to react. So many times we find people sitting and discussing that how difficult the climate is these days. Why do they discuss climate? Because they do not have anything important to do. They do not have any other important agenda to discuss. So when we will have important agenda like Krishna consciousness, like spirituality, then we will naturally tolerate the urges to other things which is arising because of the sense perception. And my basis of my tolerance is I know my real identity. I am aware I am much more than just being the body. Actually, I am a spirit soul and I have my spiritual duties, and everything related to this body is temporary. So today I may be feeling happy, tomorrow I may feel miserable. That happiness is temporary and that misery is also temporary. What is permanent is my connection with Krishna. So when I understand that is my real identity and I am focusing there, then I naturally become tolerant. So thank you all. Hare Krishna.